Next is public comment on an agenda item. Anyone in the public wish to comment on an agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move to items for consideration. The first one is CPS 2001-01 from the prosecutor to approve acceptance of the fiscal year 2020 Stop Violence Against Women grant, to approve the creation of a full-time senior assistant prosecutor, to approve the proposed Stop Grant Senior Assistant Prosecutor position description, and approve the funding transfer to the Administrative Services Manager.
So moved.
Support.
Questions or comments?
I have one. With the new employee, that will be contingent upon the grant continuation.
DJ Hilson, Muskegon County Prosecutor. Well, certainly. I mean, I would hope that we'd find a big old pot of money.
Me too.
But you know, we've been assured in what we can be assured on that this grant, after this 9-month period, could and should extend another 2 years. But yeah, everything is contingent on the grant money.
Thank you.
One more question. So I'm wondering about the funding transfer. So we approved the funding transfer. How does that work?
I would direct that to the finance people. They have a better understanding of this than I do.
Yes. This is basically the current person in this position is currently funded a portion from another grant that the prosecutor's office has, as well as his general fund department. And apparently this grant must have some resources to allow that there be an administrative component to the grant that can cover part of that person's wages and fringes. So it's just approving the labor transfer of a portion of that person's wages and fringes to this grant.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything further? Charles?
As far as the grant, this is not the first year for this grant, is it?
Well, it's the first time that prosecutors have actually had a chance to apply for money through this grant. No, the stop grant's been around for a while, but typically it's been offered to law enforcement or nonprofits, and so this was the first opportunity that prosecutors across the state could apply for such funds.
Okay. Would this have any impact on the trafficking issues?
This particular grant, the boundary of this grant deal with intimate partner violence, domestic violence, criminal sexual conduct. We did talk about some human trafficking aspects, but it really is dealing with the intimate partner stuff. And so we are partnering with outside agencies, including the Hope Project. But yeah, I mean, I think our main focus is going to be on domestic violence, stalking, and criminal sexual conduct cases.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yes, I have one question. Do you take this program to the women's groups and talk to them about what it consists of and how you can help them and they can cooperate?
Well, the great thing is that as part of the grant writing process, we sought out letters of support from these various agencies. So Every Woman's Place, for example, they have a sexual assault response team that they just started. So we received support from both Every Woman's Place and the SART program. We even reached out to the Victim Services Unit of the Ottawa Indian Tribe and got support from them as well. So in essence, there are a lot of groups that already know what we are trying to accomplish. And certainly once we get all the T's crossed and I's dotted and we can actually officially launch this team, which is not only a prosecutor but also 2 detectives, then we'll be able to be a little bit more public about it. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Anyone else? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed say no. The motion passes. Next is CPS 20-01-02 from the Public Defender to approve and authorize the Public Defender's Office to purchase a new copier printer from Boss for the purchase price of $7,650. with a $49 a month fee for parts, labor, and toner.
So move.
Support.
Support.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Next is CPS 20/01-03 from the Sheriff's Office to approve the acceptance of the fiscal year 2020 off-road vehicle law enforcement grant in the amount of $10,000 from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and authorize the sheriff to sign the agreement.
So move.
Support.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. The next is from the Sheriff's Office, CPS 20/01-04, to approve the reclassification of the Clerk 2 FT position to a departmental clerk pay table GU 00138 and place the incumbent at step 8 with an effective date upon approval.
So move. Support.
Questions or comments?
I have a question.
Madam
Oh,
Chair?
I don't. Oh, there's the sheriff. He's hiding over there behind the thing. It says here, additional estimated expenses to be offset by savings elsewhere within the sheriff's departmental budgets. Do you have any idea where that's coming from yet, or it's kind of
Michael
new in
Poolin,
the
County
year? I
Sheriff.
know.
Well, it's the beginning of the year, but through salary savings, we've already made it up.
Okay.
So
Okay. Just wanted to know.
for this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Anything else? All those in favor say yes.
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 Opposed, say no.
No.
Motion passes. Next is CPS 20/01-05 from the Sheriff's Office to authorize the Sheriff's Office to utilize best option between the Cooperatives National Association of State Procurement Officers or Oakland County's Courts and Law Enforcement Management Information System as the bidding source for the purchase award to Watch Guard Video.
So move.
Support.
Questions or comments?
John, maybe he could explain, what is that video? The watch guard, what is that?
Cameras.
I'm going to defer to Beth to explain what this is for, what we're doing here, but this is for what was already approved for our new in-car video system and body cameras for all of our staff.
So the reason this is coming back is the original motion that the board approved back in November approved to either do a sole source purchase or to go out for bid for this particular purchase. And it's under a federal grant, so we have to follow certain specific purchasing rules. While the board approved either to go out for bid or to sole source, we found out that this does not meet the sole source criteria in accordance with our purchasing policy. But there is, within our policy, it allows the sheriff to procure through a cooperative, but the board has to authorize to use one of these cooperatives.
So this is a system to maintain and organize the video that's being captured?
This is to purchase the actual cameras, the body cameras
Okay,
that was
okay,
approved
I get
back
it. Okay,
in November.
okay, thanks.
Any other comments or questions?
Not
See-
yet.
Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Next is CPS 20/01-06 from the Sheriff's Office to approve acceptance of and authorize to sign the fiscal year 20 Burn JAG-WeMet grant in the amount of $15,000 and amend the budget accordingly.
Support.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. The next is CPS 20/01-07 from the Sheriff's Office to award Kelly Austin to provide cognitive behavioral services in the jail and authorize the county board chairperson to sign the contract for services with the option to renew for 2 subsequent years depending on the availability of grant funding and the mutual agreement of both parties.
So move.
Support.
Questions or comments?
I do have a question on this.
Madam Chair?
I wondered, right, it says, it looks like you already have this in place.
Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Scott Lammerman, Community Corrections in the Sheriff's Department. Yes, it's been in place for approximately 7
With the
years.
same person, correct?
Yep.
And it says here, the option to renew subsequent years depending on availability of grant funding. Do we have grant funding already for this year?
We're in the process. We got a lengthy contract and it's going through corporate counsel right
Oh, yeah.
now, and this is the longest I've ever seen this take because they changed the contract around, but
Okay,
it should be coming shortly.
that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Mr. Nash, Commissioner Nash?
You say the same person's been doing it 7 years?
That's correct.
Okay. And she's like LMSW, correct?
No, she was a trainer. I don't know she trained me in thinking matters. She was trained by MDOC, Kelly Austin and Abe French, the gentleman that actually came up with the Thinking Matters program. They go around the state and do trainings for it. I don't know her exact qualifications, other than she's a good trainer.
I have another question. Is this a program where she trains our officers?
She doesn't. When she trained myself 7 years ago, there were some individuals from the jail that were there, but it's not like this is an ongoing thing where she trains. This is for individuals that are in jail.
Okay.
So it's for
That's what
offenders.
I see. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. The next item is CPS 20/01-08 from the Sheriff's Office to award Catholic Charities to provide cognitive behavioral services in the community and authorize the County Board Chairperson to sign the contract for services with the option to renew for 2 subsequent years depending on availability of grant funding and mutual agreement by both parties.
So move.
Support.
Questions or comments?
I have a question on this. Scott, this is the same program that this, okay. Did we get it? Is there anybody else that provides this, or we didn't get bids from anybody else? I'm taking it.
Correct.
This
There
this is
are
the one-
other
okay.
organizations that have also gone through the training, but none submitted bids. So.
Okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Commissioner Nash?
I guess I'm just trying to see the breakdown of this. So Kelly is providing training?
No. Kelly actually provides the services to offenders in the jail.
Okay.
Catholic Charities provides it out in the community.
Oh.
So offenders that maybe don't get jail time can still go to this class.
Okay.
So we offer it at both places. If they start in the jail and don't finish in jail, they can continue on at Catholic Charities.
I have another question on that. Is that would that be something that the judge would require them to do? Is finish that course?
Correct. They're ordered to the program.
I see. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Is there any old business?
Mr. Chair, can I ask the sheriff the status of our new, is it Humvee you got, the new vehicle?
Yes, sir. Short of it being delivered and the guy's starting to get familiar with it. I mean, it's just, the team is not operational at this time. So we have it though. It's in our possession.
Thank you.
We were kind of surprised because we were told that a complete light package would come on it, but they also gave us a radio and some other equipment that came along with it. So
And you're gonna invite us all over to see that, right?
you can take it for a drive if you want.
Is there anything else? Any other old business? Any new business? Public comment. Anyone in the public wish to comment? State your name and address, please.
Carolyn Draghi, and a Muskegon County resident. My address?
Yes.
11538 Nichols Road, Holden, Michigan. I haven't done this before, so
Can you step up to the mic, please?
sorry I don't have a loud voice.
Pull the mic down to you so we can hear you better.
Thank you.
There you go. Perfect.
My brain surgery made me speak low.
It's okay.
I pay attention a lot around here, and I've noticed that my Republican friends and myself, we don't yell and scream to the crowds, and a lot of my liberal friends and my Democratic friends, and they tend to yell and scream, and I've noticed in the state and in the country, a lot of our things seem to be floating away, and people want to take the guns and the rights, and people are wanting to welcome things that should not be welcomed greatly, and welcome the illegal, the aliens, and people don't like the word aliens, and that is what it is, and I do not like it, and I see grants and things that need to be pulled, but the money needs to be for our American friends and our legal aliens, and it drives me batty because all this money needs to be for things that are legal, and there are so many people that are waiting in lines legally, and all the people that are representing us, you guys represent us. Pay attention to the people, and even the people that are yelling and screaming, because pretty soon Republican people are going to be yelling and screaming, and the people don't realize how many people are not yelling and screaming. But we are here, and when we start yelling and screaming, it's not going to be pretty. Pay attention and stand up for us too, because you guys have a lot of people that are not yelling and screaming.
Thank you.
But it's
Your
not
time
gonna
is
be
up.
good.
Anyone else? with public comment.
My name is Larry Hausman, Norton Shores. I want to thank whoever the powers to be that fixed the sound system so that we can hear. I mean, it's wonderful now. I mean, it's just great. And the videotapes. That's one giant step forward, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if this is the right place, but my understanding is that you're all all the county boards in Michigan are going to be getting notified as far as the Second Amendment campaign going on, and I'd encourage you to look favorably on that. There's a lot of people that I know feel like I do. There's probably a lot of people that don't feel that way, but I'm just asking that you give it good consideration. Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name is Bill Johnson, and my address is 4408 South Comstock Avenue, and I'm in Fremont in neighboring Newaygo County. And I wanted to speak about refugee resettlement in relationship to compassion, but in relationship to measured compassion. And I'd like to address that this way. No compassion for refugees. Nothing could be further from the truth. During the aftermath of the Vietnam War, many churches carefully prepared the way, if you remember, to bring in boat people who had escaped death and dying and suffering in internment camps to come to America. I know because the church where I was a member, family. The beauty of the community was that the Kim Vu family was not forced into a community, but rather vetted, and then a compassionate home with their help was prepared for them. Work was found, language training and constitutional training was brought, and the family wanted America to be their home, and they desired to contribute back to the community over time, which they did. It was a beautiful experience and repeated, I'm sure, countless times across this great nation. Maybe you have your own accounts. I'm not talking about La La Land. The agenda was straightforward: to get behind an embattled family, to befriend them and help them make their way as a family unit, not being a long-time burden upon their new country. This was compassionate toward the embattled boat people, but it was compassion for the American citizen as well, because it took into consideration the safety and security of the local citizens as well. Who were these people? Did they have criminal records? Did they come carrying communicable diseases? Did they have a history of discord and hostility? No. Skipping down, then I'm running out of time. As a father, grandfather, it behooves me to be compassionate first toward my family
Thank you
and
for
my
your
neighbors,
comments.
my community and nation. And I believe that it's important for it to work both ways.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Rosie Belberty, 921 and East Forest, and I just want to make a comment. I actually would prefer if you can at least turn the screen on for the timer, because I have certain restraints for looking up, and it's difficult for me to look at the timer. So if there's any way you guys can put a timer on this front screen here, it would help a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more.
Can we have the screen on or no? That would be nice. Thank you. Oh, like that? Usually it's so that's the way it's going to be. It's usually not like that. So, okay, as long as it works. Andor 11391 West Laketon. Refugee settlement. Refugees are eligible for all forms of welfare, and the state and local taxpayers would carry the financial burden. Education for children and adults, including teaching English. Other expenses, medical, housing, and in many cases, welfare. Educational and criminal justice systems are both paid for at the local level. People at or below poverty level in Muskegon County need these resources, and you, our county commissioners, should desire to have them come first, as do we, the taxpayers who have voted you into office. Security screening is inadequate, and safety is a definite issue. The safety of people of Muskegon County needs to come first. After doing some research, I'm realizing that so-called religious groups placing refugees are federal contractors depending on high numbers of refugees in order to get paid from the U.S. Treasury. We don't want our Muskegon County involved in this, nor should you. What may have been a Christian organization in the past may not qualify as such today. There is an opt-out, and I'm asking you to opt out when this comes before the commission. Individuals may and do take in refugees, and they are not paid high sums of money. They do it out of love and care for others, not for money, and there are those in this room who have done just that. Perhaps you would like to join them in this Christian act. We the people are concerned on many levels, and as our commissioners, we ask that you please research this issue. Organizations are making big money, and our county will suffer the consequences. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll move to final board comment. If anyone has any final comments.